truth.
Are neo-Nazis supremacists?
It depends on which ones. They're individuals.
No, I didn't ask you which one.
Donald Trump's top witnesses fell apart under questioning before the Senate and House of Representatives. One by one, Trump cabinet officials, judicial picks, and MAGA witnesses crumbled on live TV when forced to testify under oath. Let me show you what happened. Donald Trump's transportation secretary, Sean Duffy, responded to claims that his road trip reality show was funded with millions of dollars from companies he's supposed to oversee. Watch as Senator Gillibrand questions Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy. Let's play this clip.
Hearing? You are the witness. I am not the witness.
I don't have any. Well, maybe you should be.
Well, you know
maybe
what?
You should answer
Secretary Duffy
for $7 million.
Secretary
from the
Duffy.
trial bar.
Secretary Duffy.
$7 million.
I think you should be
that
telling
goes
this
in state
committee
dinners. That goes to
why
put your ad on television in your. That's all to you. You spend that money.
This is what I'm concerned about. You are political, and you are using your position in political ways.
$500,000 paid by the trial bar to fly you on a private jet.
I've never been on a private jet.
Zen Air.
I don't.
Zen Air?
Never been on a private jet.
$462,000 private jets.
We don't. Members of Congress
so they
aren't
pay
allowed.
You to fly on a yes, senators
Not
can.
true.
It is.
Not true.
Answer to that.
You know what, Mr. Secretary?
I made nothing.
Your job.
They put your face on television. Your face on television. Your steak dinners. Your vacations by the trial bar.
We're going to go to Senator Capito. Recognize you for your question.
Then Democratic Senator Murray questioned Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy about just how disconnected he is from everyday Americans. Let's play this clip.
Just this show is incredibly out of touch with where Americans are. And I echo Senator Gillibrand's concerns that it really raises some serious ethics concerns about who you answer to, because the people organizing your show solicited corporate sponsors and promised rewards at each level of funding. Now,
Senator, to be honest, that's not true.
I'm looking at your thing. What you
that's
get
not
for being a
there's a memo of understanding that says no one gets any benefit for anything they do to participate.
I'll ask you a question. Maybe you can answer it.
Sure.
If I'm an airline executive and I paid $1 million for this Great American Road Trip, what would I get out of that?
From me, nothing.
Well, look, as I said, the deck that is out there says that if you give $1 million, you get 6 VIP invitations to receptions, you get to go to roundtables, you get to networking events.
If someone from the healthcare industry gives you $2 million, what do they get for it? What do you give
I do
them?
not oversee I do not regulate.
You have jurisdiction.
I do not regulate.
You have jurisdiction.
I do not
$2 million to put your face on TV, to buy steak dinners,
Mr. Secretary,
to go on vacation.
Listen to my
That's
point
what
here.
you do. Welcome to MAGA. Welcome to Drill Baby Drill.
Secretary,
are you going to drill? Do
please.
you want to support lower gas prices? I welcome that. Let's drill. I've done everything you can to increase gas prices for Americans and make us buy EVs.
Mr. Secretary, this is my time.
Donald Trump is lowering the cost of energy.
You are wasting my time.
You're wasting my time.
Responding with a book of claims that you have come at us.
Democrats stayed focused with their questioning. Senator Gillibrand continued grilling Duffy on his road trip show Remember. Duffy became somewhat known for being on Real World/Road Rules Challenge. And then he and his family did this road trip reality show, funded by millions from companies overseen by the Transportation Department. Corruption at its finest. Play this clip.
Also do not like your Great American Road Trip. And I get you have experience in that. I get you want to promote America and how beautiful and amazing it is. I get all the good reasons why you wanted to do that. And I get it's time with your family, all those things. I don't like it because right now in New York, people are suffering. They are extremely stressed out. They're stressed out about the cost of gas, which has gone up by 50% under this administration. They're upset about the cost of everyday household goods. They're upset about the cost of groceries and housing and healthcare. So their stresses. I don't think they're going to get to go on that great American vacation that they'd like to go on. I think a lot of families are not actually going on vacation this summer. And when I went and met with a bunch of gas stations across my state just a couple days ago, the cost of well over $4 a gallon in every gas station, $5 a gallon, over $6 a gallon for diesel, it's extremely stressful. And I don't like the fact that this great American vacation reality TV show. Took days and days of filming. I don't like the fact that it was paid for by companies that you have to oversee, companies that you work with. And in our jobs, that would be pay for play. It would be 100% illegal. It would be inappropriate on every level and not tolerated. And in this era where President Trump's spending money building a golden ballroom that we don't need, that he's spending $1 billion a day on bombs that people would far rather he be spending on healthcare or housing. This great American road trip, it doesn't smell right. It may be fast, but it's fast and loose with the rules. I don't like it. I think it's wrong. And I think you should explain to the American people why you should spend your time and why you should be getting a vacation that is paid for by companies that you regulate. I think those things are highly problematic, and it makes me extremely anxious because the American people and New Yorkers in particular probably can't afford their vacation this summer at all.
This was a project, Senator, and I want to encourage Americans to see their beautiful country. And as we can see from this hearing, there's a lot of partisanship in America. This seeing your country, experiencing your country through the window of a car is a beautiful thing. It actually unites America. Maybe spending time with your children is a wonderful experience.
It is a wonderful thing, but your
so-
vacation was paid for by Boeing,
So, hold on,
Toyota,
quick.
United Airlines,
a project,
Enterprise,
Senator.
Shell, Royal Caribbean Group,
So,
all
Senator,
organizations and
Do
companies.
you want me to respond to you? Can I respond?
But you're,
Okay, so
you're
I will
responding
respond.
with platitudes, and it's
No, but
not.
I'm telling you what the project was.
Got it.
Okay, 2 days, quickly in and out, and I did film the Great American Road Trip to encourage Americans to travel. I'll answer your question.
Mhm.
So this was officially part of America 250, and you all sanctioned America 250. This is an official partner. No, it's an official partner of America 250. Also, this body told me that I'm supposed to promote tourism and travel, and that's what it does as well. Now, hold on a second. No, you're making.
And it shouldn't be paid for by people that you have oversee.
So,
that you oversee.
Can I respond to that?
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize.
We've asked for all states to revoke illegally issued driver's licenses. Every state has complied but New York. And we have tools to pull money from New York, and we did. California even complied.
But the point is, Mr. Duffy, Secretary Duffy, I don't mind that you have rules and that you have a different way of doing the Department of Transportation. What I mind is that you bragged about it and made a joke about it.
I'm also
It's
bragging,
not.
Senator,
it is not
Senator,
appropriate
do you
for
want
a
me to answer the question?
secretary
Do you want me to answer?
to demean an entire state by that joke.
So we're going to give $8 billion to rebuild Penn Station. Is that a joke?
No, but
No, you'd welcome that, right? And I've asked for your subways to be cleaner. Is
with
that
our
a joke?
tax dollars,
Right,
you got
make
that
it
money
cleaner.
because we give it to you
And
from
then,
New Yorkers.
And then we get a choice where to put it, and you give me that. You give me that discretion.
We
And so
also
you give me the
appropriate money
discretion,
that
and-
then you don't grant.
So let me-
So
let me
we
talk to
are
you
the
about-
appropriators, not you.
No, I know you are.
We appropriate the money. You're supposed to spend it. Sometimes
I
you
make
choose not to,
decisions on how
and we
to
have to
spend it.
file lawsuits to get you to spend the
Want to
money.
make allegations? You don't want? Can I respond? Do you want me to respond to, or just if you want to take all your time is up? But if you want to just sit and vent, or want me to
Let's talk
respond,
about.
you let me know.
Let's talk about the Great American Vacation.
The Great American Road Trip.
Yeah.
Then in the House, Democratic Congressman Moskowitz questioned a MAGA witness named Swain. She was brought in by House MAGA Republicans to attack the Southern Poverty Law Center. She's a right-wing MAGA commentator. Watch what happens as Moskowitz questions her. Let's play this clip.
Are neo-Nazis supremacists?
It depends on which ones. They're individuals.
I didn't ask you which ones.
Some of them are plain old
neo-Nazi. Miss Swan, listen, I'm not reading your book if you literally can't answer this question. Are neo-Nazis supremacists?
They're individuals. Some are, and some may be just plain old anti-Semites.
No, neo-Nazis are anti-Semites, okay? We're going to agree there.
Right, okay.
But they're also supremacists, Miss Swan.
Okay, if you agree.
No. You don't have to take my word for it. Right, like they are. That's the whole reason they exist.
But you
because
all don't
they
seem
believe
to-
they are supreme.
You all don't seem to understand that a white
Who's they all?
supremacist
I'm not a
until you
neo-Nazi.
define-
Who's they all? I'm a regular person asking another regular person
Okay.
if we can agree that neo-Nazis are
Okay,
supremacists.
I will agree with you.
Okay, I don't want you to be forced into it.
I would agree with you, but I suggest you all take the time and read my Cambridge University Press book
Listen,
that was nominated for a
Miss Swan,
Pulitzer
listen,
Prize.
Dr. Swan, I can promise you there's no freaking way I'm buying your book. When it took 2 minutes for you to look at me and had to convince you that neo-Nazi, listen,
Because I don't like the talking points. The leftist.
this is not a talking point. This is 100 years of history. Watch this. I'm going to show you how easy it is. Mr. Perkins, are neo-Nazis supremacists?
They are supremacists.
Thank you, sir. Mr. O'Neill.
Yes.
Okay. Dr. Swan, that wasn't a trick question for them. I wasn't trying to trip them up. I wasn't using DNC talking points. This is part of the problem.
Then we heard from Democratic Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, who brought the House down. Let's play it.
That are in organizations that are absolutely white supremacy organizations should get our tax dollars because they decided to tear apart or attempt to tear apart our democracy. They are being rewarded. These are people that went through our criminal justice system. When people on that side of the aisle claim that they love law and order, they went through it. They either entered pleas of guilty or they were found guilty. And this president, on day one, his priority was not around racism. It was around doing things like letting them go and now putting money in their pockets. We haven't had one hearing on white supremacy. Yet when we look at things like the killing of Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, the 9 worshipers who were murdered at the Mother Emanuel AME Church, the 23 people murdered in 2019 during the shooting at Walmart in El Paso, the 10 people murdered during the 2022 shooting at a grocery store in Buffalo, New York. All of these were murdered by white supremacists who were empowered by the Republican Party's racist rhetoric and policies. This is the same party that wants to drag us back to the Jim Crow era. Some say that there aren't poll taxes, and I guess it's because they're not listing the amount of money. But when you tell somebody that they've got to go and pay for something, say, like a passport that costs over $100 in order to be able to vote, that looks like a poll tax to me. Some of y'all need to read up on your history books, the very same ones that the Republicans have decided that people should not hear about because you don't want real history taught in our schools because you're afraid that it's going to hurt people's feelings to know that their ancestors were so savage that they would enslave black folk. You don't want them to understand why the 14th Amendment mattered then and it matters today. You don't want them to understand that when they draw these racist lines and tell black folk that they shouldn't have representation in this country, that it is against the Constitution. You want them to be ignorant so that they can sit up here and be your token for your
has
mission.
expired. Well, you can't yield because you've done run out of time.
Then we heard from Democratic Congressman Jim McGovern, who exposed how Republicans voted against an amendment to stop Trump's $1.8 billion slush fund money from a case where Trump sued his own IRS and Treasury Department to give millions to January 6th rioters who assaulted police officers. Absolutely shameful. Let's play this clip.
The committee add a new section to the rule providing immediate consideration of H.R. 7711, the No Rewards for January 6 Rioters Act. So this bill would prohibit the use of federal funds to compensate individuals who were prosecuted for their involvement in the attack on the United States Capitol on January 6, 2021. Additionally, my motion would self-execute an amendment that would require the Attorney General of the United States to disclose any payments made by the so-called Anti-Weaponization Fund, which was created by the corrupt settlement agreement between Donald Trump and his own administration. This secret slush fund should be an outrage to every American, no matter your politics. I would urge a yes vote on my motion, and I yield back.
The question is on the amendment. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. No. The noes have it. The amendment's not agreed to.
Then we heard about Donald Trump's judicial picks. One of them, a man named Matthew Schwartz, nominated for the Second Circuit Court of Appeals. Watch as Senator Blumenthal questions him. Let's play this clip.
The Capitol attacked on January 6th.
Senator, there was definitely trespass and violence at the Capitol on January 6th, and obviously violence against law enforcement or against political actors is unacceptable.
So the Capitol was attacked violently on January 6th, correct?
So again, Senator, you're asking me to weigh in on sort of public characterizations. What I will say is that the Capitol there was trespass and there was violence at the Capitol on January 6th. Absolutely.
You know, what makes me angry is not just the insult to the role of this committee, but to our intelligence. Do you really expect us to accept these canned, rehearsed, practiced answers repeated again and again and again by judicial nominees who have an obligation to be truthful. And most important, you have an obligation to be independent. You both know better. You both have records of litigating. And you both would expect more of nominees in your position because, above all, a federal judge must be independent without fear or favor. And your fear, apparently, of Donald Trump, so much so that you practiced with the White House before you came here and rehearsed this answer and are repeating by rote what you've been told to say, in my view, is disqualifying. And I'm really disappointed in both of you because I would have expected better. Who won the 2020 election?
Senator Blumenthal, I'll incorporate the answer that Justice Jackson gave that Chairman Grassley referred to earlier. It wouldn't be appropriate for me to comment on the outcomes of any election except to say that, legally speaking, Joe Biden was certified.
Justice Jackson said it would be inappropriate for her as a sitting federal judge. You are not a sitting federal judge. Who won the 2020 election?
Senator, it's long been understood that nominees should abide by the same code of ethics that binds sitting judges. So I do think her example is persuasive, and I intend to follow it.
I think your failure to answer that question mocks this committee. And I will just say to you, she declined to answer based on the code of ethics because at the time she was a sitting federal judge. And frankly, I know Justice Jackson. You're no Justice Jackson. And I would ask her the same question and insist on her answering it if she were the nominee today. So I'll give you one more chance. Who won the 2020 election, sir?
I'll again adhere to Justice Jackson's precedent.
Mr. Schwartz, who won the 2020 election?
So, Senator, I think the answer that Justice Jackson gave is the only legally and ethically correct answer.
You recognize that you're not a sitting federal judge.
Senator, the rules for judicial conduct apply to judicial nominees who are not judges as well.
Mr. Schwartz, and you know better. And you are, in fact, fooling or trying to fool this committee and the general public. And you've appeared before a lot of distinguished Second Circuit judges. I'm willing to bet you know they would not answer the question this way. Who won the popular vote, Mr. Schwartz, in the 2020 election?
So, Senator, again, consistent with the answer that Justice Jackson and other prior
factual
nominees.
Question, Mr. Schwartz. It's a matter of public record. You wouldn't answer the question in this way if you were before a judge, would you?
Senator, sitting here as a judicial nominee, I'm bound by the codes of conduct, and I can't answer that question in the way you want me to, because the only legally and ethically correct answer is the one that prior nominees have given, which is that Joe Biden was certified as president in 2020.
There you have it, folks. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe